Welcome to another video. Let's see, now this game was interesting for two reasons that I thought. One is right out of the gate I was presented with this response by black, and the computer says it's always good to take, so I did. Now black's response in the past I've seen many times, the queen would come down and take. When he takes my pawn, we're even. But this time what happened was, so let's see, after I took, he brought his knight up. Now what I learned recently, a fun little trick, is to bring the bishop up, put the king in check. And in a previous video I showed that what black can do a lot of different things. He can bring the bishop up, he can bring the pawn up, he can put the knight here, he can put this knight here, he can put this knight here, but he can't move the king. Okay, now in this scenario, in this game, he brought his pawn up, and since this pawn has already taken one of black's pawns, I said, okay, now that pawn is going to get a second pawn. Now what it allows is it has allowed black to develop his knight, but I've gotten an extra pawn out of the deal. So anyway, I want to take you to a little bit further in the game. Okay, at this point in the game, it's my turn, and I see what I think is a good move. This knight here could go right here and threaten this bishop and this queen. And it turns out that the computer says that that's the best move. So I'm proud of myself for finding the best move. And so I did that. I moved my knight up. Black found the best response, and it's according to the computer also. Black brought the queen right there. And it's a great move because now the queen protects the bishop. But it also threatens to bring the queen right here and say checkmate if I didn't have this knight here. So if this knight wasn't here to guard that square, the queen could come down right there and say checkmate. So that made me very nervous. So I thought, oh my goodness, I'm just going to go ahead and take that bishop. So I took it, and then he took. There was a much better move. I mean, that move right there, I just traded my knight for a bishop, but it wasn't really with a good purpose. So let's go back, and instead of me taking that bishop, a much better move, according to the computer, the best move, is to push this pawn. Now, why is that a good move? Well, the queen can't take, because then I'll take with my pawn or this knight, and black will lose their queen. So you think, okay, well, the queen wants to move away. Well, guess what? The queen can't go here because of this pawn, and this knight could take her. And the queen, let's see, the queen can't go here because of this pawn, and the queen can't go here because of this knight, and the queen can't go here because of this knight, and the queen can't go here because of this knight. So the only move where the queen can go is right here. So let's see what happens. Let's turn on the juice there. The computer is on. Let's say the queen goes here. Well, now look at this. Now white's in a position to capture the bishop, still threaten the queen, but this bishop attacks the queen, and if my knight is here, he's threatening this rook. So it does not look good. But what other move does black have? Well, believe it or not, according to the computer says that black should take, and then the computer says white should take. Wow. So that's a great move. Let's go back to right here. Okay, so Let's get rid of those arrows. Okay, so I came up, I said check. He found the best move, which is to bring the queen there, which was a great move, because not only does it still protect the bishop, but now, if he can find a way to get rid of my knight here, his queen can come down to this square and say checkmate. So he's building up a nice attack. In this case, I was in a big rush, like I said, and I went ahead and took that bishop. But we already, like I said, moving this pawn up is great. Now, what that does is what they call in chess removing the defender. By the queen having to either take or take here or go here, the queen is no longer protecting this bishop. And so that means that I would be able to take that bishop absolutely free. So I push this pawn. The pawn is attacking the queen. And like we said earlier, if the queen moves here, I can, if the queen does move there, let's show, then I can just take and, you know, I'm up a whole piece. Now he's got to move. Where's he going to go now? Let's look and see. Let's turn on the, he can go there, okay. But you see, then I can take that. So that knight ended up getting a bishop and a rook in exchange for his life. So, let's go back. So this is a valuable lesson in, one, not being in a big rush just because they come down and they're threatening, you know, a future checkmate. Remember, you know, I've got this knight here. He still protects that. And instead of doing what I did, which is just, you know, taking the bishop and then the queen recapturing my knight, why not, you know, calm down and find something that might make this queen move away from the defense of this bishop. And that would have been a great move. I wish I would have seen that in the game, but I didn't. It would have been a huge gain for Team White had I seen to push that pawn up. Once again, I'm reminded it's important to take my time, have some fun, no rush, and think about what's actually happening. So right now I've got one piece attacking this bishop. He's got one defender. And to look for a way, another piece of mine that can attack this bishop, or find a way to remove the defender. And in this case, pushing that pawn up removes the defender. Okay, well, I thought that was a really instructive moment in the game there, and I wanted to share that. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Have a great day.